Well, hello, whoever, wherever, whenever you are. I'm making great progress in my struggle with cathedral windows. Not only did I solve the messy join problem by figuring out some embroidery for when I don't succeed in making it right, but also as I go along, I am getting better. And by the time I finish this project, I should have had enough practice that I won't have to worry about messy joins. The join being the 4 points coming together on the quilt, the coverlet top. Now, I had a interesting brainstorming session with a chatter named Jenna. I hadn't seen her before, but she's a fellow quilter. And I was talking about wrestling with this problem. And she said how she's done cathedral windows herself and she understands the issue with the near impossibility of getting a really clean look on the places where the windows join. And suddenly it was like we kind of fed off each other and developed some brainstorm ideas. And I'm seriously working on one. It's going to be a wall hanging, maybe, I don't know, 40 by 50 or something like that, throw quilt size, but a wall hanging. And I'm talking about it so that other people that have fooled around with cathedral windows, and most of the cathedral windows quilts that you see pretty much all look alike. It's such an intricate design that it's not that easy to come up with creative variations, like as if it were an HST or something like that. So anyway, this is the design that started to develop out of our brainstorming session. The thing about this is it's a sculpted coverlet. You don't really need padding in it, and it creates the back at the same time as it creates the front. Another type of quilt block that is similar is the Manx style log cabin, which is your typical log cabin with the graduated strips around a square, except that the way it's done on the Isle of Man, hence the name Manx, is that they do it in folds. So you end up with a heavily sculpted block, similar to cathedral window. And then there's that familiar block that everyone has seen and most people have tried at one time or another. I have yet to try it, the Dresden plate. And on top of that, there's a variety of ways to depict a night sky with like a collection of very small friendship stars or sawtooth stars or pinwheels, different little blocks that can create a starry night sky. So I'm thinking about a block of maybe, like this is 8. Okay, yeah, this is 4 by 2, so it's 8. Okay, so maybe 12 square cathedral window block, almost in the middle, off to slightly one side of this wall hanging. Above it, a Dresden window. Around both below the Dresden window, around it, and around the cathedral window, a set of Manx log cabins. You see what it's doing? It's creating the wall and the windows that are set into the side, and then perhaps some scallop shingle looking blocks up around near where the roof would be. the starry night sky, and then all around the front part where the ground would be, some white on white blocks, little hourglass and similar blocks to make the snow. And maybe embroider a pine tree up one side to make a winter scene of a cathedral or a church with old-fashioned stained glass cathedral style windows, because the blocks, the log cabin blocks would suggest a clapboard. So it would be more like a country church. But if you do the Manx blocks with wider strips so that it looks like stone, then it could look like a real cathedral made of stone the way they are in Europe. Anyway, I'm putting this out there because who knows if I'll ever get this done. I am going to work on it. And I'm inviting other people that enjoy hand stitching, designing stuff to start thinking about it. I'm sure that you might even go in other directions with the same idea of placing the window in a scene, because some other ideas that we came up with were you could have it being that you're inside looking out. So the inside walls would have, like, in fact, oh yes, I've seen some fabrics of Morris wallpaper. So you could do some blocks of Morris wallpaper around the cathedral, give the sense of being inside, looking out, and you could get a nice panel of some kind of outdoor scene and cut it up to put in the window panes, which would be, that would be a little less complicated to achieve than the first description that I'm putting out there. But I'm putting these descriptions out there because I know if you start thinking about it, your own ideas are going to start flickering and popping. And wouldn't it be fun if I could go around and find a bunch of cathedral window sessions that other people are putting up, little streams and videos to put in our playlist for Cathedral Window? Let me know what you think. And also share this out with anyone you know. Maybe you're not into Cathedral Window, but you know another quilter who is. So put this out there, share it around. Let's get this project going. Maybe we'll eventually, if somebody's really good at streaming. I mean, I just use my phone, and I'm not, you can see I'm not well equipped for it. I'm not that well organized. Maybe somebody who would like to do this with me could set up some streams and people could be working on these cathedral window ideas together, and 2 or 3 people up in the screen. That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. So let me know what you think, and definitely share this out, like, subscribe, do all the good stuff to make the algorithm jump. Let me pull this chat up. No, it's letting me filter, but it's not letting me see it. Okay, all messages there. Now I can see it. Nobody's talking. One person's watching. Well, that's okay. As people come along and see this on the replay, hopefully it will get shared around, and this cathedral window project can really go somewhere. Really be what the whole thing of these virtual craft communities are all about. Really having some fun working together on something, collaborating. Okay, I'm going to go now. Denise Matteau, over and out.